A very good evening to one and all present here. I'm Hari Priya, the panel moderator for today, and welcome to today's panel discussion on how shows shape us. Watching movies and series have become an integral part of our daily routines, right? And largely, what we watch influence how we think, how we behave, and what we believe. Today, our wonderful panelists will share their personal experiences and insights on how series, movies, and shows shape them and the world around them. Before we really dive into the segments, I would like to present the agenda of panel discussion. The first segment is called Know Your Panelist's Preference. In this segment, we will be having a rapid fire round and the panelists will be answering in one word. This will be followed by the segment called Deep Dive, where we will be discussing in detail on the topic, followed by audience Q&A session, where an audience can throw a question to any of the panelists. So now it's the time to introduce you all to our wonderful set of panelists. Firstly, we have two set of panelists, two college going people and two office goers. So the first panelist is our uh, a member from TCS My 3 Alpha Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Veera. Can I have Toastmaster Veera on camera, please?
Yeah, I hope. Sorry, I hope I'm visible and audible. I have a bit of cold.
Yes.
So,
Then we have our cute kid of REC, Toastmaster Ernita. Can I have Ernita on screen if it's possible?
Am I visible and audible?
Yes, you are. Then we have another cute kid, Toastmaster Harini.
I'm pretty sure I can't on my camera because my net gets slow down. So,
No
am I
issues.
visible?
Yeah, it's fine. Then followed by our final panelist, Toastmaster Janashri.
Hello, moderator. Hope I'm audible and visible.
Yes, you are. So now let's dive into our first segment called Know Your Panelist's Preference. So I'll be asking this or that question, and you guys have to really answer in one single word. So, Toastmaster Veera, series or movies?
movies,
Toastmaster Harini, regional films, shows, or international films or shows?
International films or shows.
Arunita, rewatching favorite or discovering new content?
Discovering new content.
Toastmaster Janashri, binge watching or weekly episodes?
Binge watching.
Toastmaster Veera, TV or OTT platform?
right now I would say OTT. OTT.
Toastmaster Ernita, story driven or character driven?
Both.
Toastmaster Harini, are you a theater person or a comfort at home type person?
Comfort at home watching.
So, Toastmaster Janishri, I don't have a this or that question, but I would like to really ask one question to you. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how addicted are you to movies and series?
I would do 7 out of 10.
Okay, that means your average movie buff. Okay. So now, I hope now everyone has got an idea about the preferences of our panelists. Now, let's dive into our second segment called Deep Dive. So, the first question is quite a simple and straightforward question, and it is to you, Toastmaster Veera. Why do you think people watch movies or series? Is it mainly for the entertainment purpose or mere escapism, or is it something else?
I would say that purely depends on the person and their mood. For me, I use it as a way of escapism. At the same time, I also use it sometimes as a medium of learning things because a few people, they really cannot travel out of the country due to their budget restrictions and so on. So, but when you are watching movie, you get exposed to various cultures, various languages, the way that people in other countries live, their landscape, and so on. So I would say it's more than just escapism. It's also a mode of learning as well. And there are some movies you just have to see it to experience it. So yeah, that would be my explanation. Over to you, yeah.
So you have mentioned that it is your way of escapism, right? So most often we tend to escape from reality and start watching a lot of TV shows or series, and in the process, as people, we really get emotionally connected to what we watch. So, Toastmaster Ernita, why do you think people get so much emotionally connected to TV shows or movies? Is it the character, the storytelling, or something else that really draws people's this emotional connect?
Um, to be honest, I believe that it's both the character and the director's touch, because even despite of having the most amazing characters, without a proper storytelling, no story can be told. Hence, I believe that people get emotional when when the director can, put it right. And that's what I believe.
Okay, so largely you believe it is like if a director puts it right and you have a personal connect, that's when you really get emotionally attached, right?
Yes.
So, Toastmaster Harini, when we talk about getting connected, a personal connect to movies, so I have a question for you. So, have you ever seen a character in a movie and thought, hey, that's me? And how did that really affect you or influence you?
Okay, well, movies, I'm not quite sure, but I would say a series. Pretty much people would know Bridgerton. And there's a character called as Penelope. And I so much connect with her because she's literally me. Having seen the entire three series, I can see a lot of similarities. First thing is that I find comfort with words. I like putting them into words, mainly my emotions, rather than just talking to people. And she's also a very famous author there, writing a newsletter, which would come up in the last part of the series. So I thought, yeah, this girl is me. And second of all, a hopeless romantic. Thirdly, even when she's put in a room full of people, she would always be invisible. Somebody who people don't even, consider going and having a conversation to. And she's actually okay with it, finding comfort with herself. And she also doesn't like, going around, connecting with people, and that's the only way of finding happiness. She's content with herself. So I think that is so much me. So yeah, I think it's Penelope.
So the Penelope is the character that you largely connect with, right? So it's actually amazing to know that. Then Toastmaster Janashri, see, watching, as Toastmaster Harini said, watching a character that is familiar to you, that you feel is like you, makes you feel happy, right? It gives a sense of pleasure to you when you watch it, right? So, in your opinion, how does media we consume shape us in a beneficial way?
Yep, I totally agree that the movies or the series we watch on a regular basis would affect us. Either we get it affected emotionally, or we try to change our emotions or the behavior according to the person we love. So if, for example, if I like Rajni, I would be imitating myself as himself and change my attitude. If I like whatever, I can list out any of the heroes or heroines, and we are not just seeing them as a character in their movie, but we are engrossed in them. So we we tend to change our behaviors or attitude, and it affects us in our day-to-day life. So I strongly agree that that is affecting every single person who is watching those movies in in an emotional way. Yes.
Okay, Toastmaster Janashri, you feel that watching a movie has helps you morally, like emotionally, right? So, Toastmaster Veera, can you share a movie or a TV show that has significantly influenced your outlook on life?
Significantly affected my outlook on life. I would say it's the movie Mori. I'm not sure how many of you guys have actually watched it. I think it was released around 2000 to 2010ish. I'm not sure. It's a great movie. The lead is Prithviraj and Jyotika. So Jyotika is mute and she also cannot hear. And the Prithviraj is a music director. So he falls in love with a deaf and dumb person, and how they, get married and stuff. They fall in love. They how they fight and so on. So that forms the crux of the movie. It kind of offers a perspective switch on, like, if you see a person, you'll be like, okay, that's that person, and so on. So, but from their point of view, it's something extremely different. And for someone who is differently able, the world itself is different. So, yeah, I would say my lesson is probably don't judge a book by its cover, and not everything is actually conspicuous, because everyone's POV is different and everyone has the different life. That's it. Thank you, and over to you, HP.
Thank you, Toastmaster Veera, that you have brought in an amazing point. So in that movie, it emphasized like it the main lead, that is Jyotika, is like she's disabled, right? That's one way of breaking stereotype. So Toastmaster Ernita, here is a question to you. Do you think TV shows, series, and movie play a pivotal role in breaking the typical stereotype set by the society?
Yes, I do believe that movies break the stereotypes set by the society. Because I remember watching this movie called Dopati, where Kajol is a female cop, and she does pretty well. Mostly in um, like in movies, generally it shows that maybe the male lead finds out about all the finds out takes all the clues and solves the case and all that. I really like Kajol's character in that movie. And second movie I would like to speak about is Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, which is my favorite all time favorite movie. In that, there is this character called Arjun, who is this typical financial broker that is like, I have to earn money, I have to save up, I have to do all that. But then after that, he becomes this very chill person, and maybe not shown in the movie, but it's Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. It's a Hindi movie. It's really nice. So it's not shown in that movie, but I presume that he would become a bit more chill, and Leila would also, you know, be helping him despite being a freelancer. She doesn't have a particular job, but still she earns money. But here in the but here mostly it's not like that. It's that you have to have a proper corporate job to earn money, but there it's not like that. So that changed my view, kind of changed my view. So hence I believe movies do play a very important role, as it's a part of our lives now.
Yes, as you have rightly mentioned, we live in a society where corporate jobs or the government jobs are only given importance, and no other jobs apart from that are given any preference. So this has largely broken the barriers set by the society. So Toastmaster Janashri has now, when it comes to the personal barriers, and movies and series have definitely played a major role in breaking our personal barriers as well, right? So Toastmaster Janashri, has there been a series that changed your personal opinion on a particular issue? If so, what was it and how did it influence your thinking?
I mostly get affected by the movies or the series I watch. I would be engrossed in those and completely forget what I usually live in. So the first film that struck my mind is The Great Indian Kitchen, that typically showed how an average married woman lives in the society. So only after watching that movie, I I took steps to raise my younger brother to see as a man who I want to see in the society. So that changed me and my thinking process and my ability to see a man. So that is the one movie that impacted me a lot. The second thing, maybe I would say Vasul Raj MBBS, because it's a whole good, feel good movie, and the one thing that impacted me is where the great Kamal Hassan would show love for the janitors and other every workers. So after seeing that movie, the love and respect for every day-to-day worker has changed significantly in my life. So so every movie has this particular scene where that where it impacts our thinking and our behavior. So I would list down these two movies for that.
That's rightly said, Toastmaster Janeshri. Like the movies that we watch largely influence how we treat people as well. We usually treat the janitors as untouchables, right? That's what was there in the past. And when they started normalizing things, even we started normalizing many things, right? One such thing is treating janitors equally, like as people. So that point, well received and well said, Toastmaster Janeshri. So, Toastmaster Harini, you said you are a person who prefer international shows and series over the regional films and series, right? So, what actually makes you get really drawn towards them, and what unique perspective or lessons have you gained from watching them?
Okay, so I feel that international movies and series, they cover a wide range of topics compared to here, because we people here, you take any field, be it Hollywood, Bollywood, we are actually quite frightened about the society's perspective on a particular movie. And I think the international TV shows and movies, they tend to cover a wide range because they actually include a diverse community. You know what I mean? Because we have a lot of topics we consider to be boom, and people are not actually ready to speak out. Now I can see there are a lot of movies coming out with different genres, because back when I grew up, I saw a lot of rom-coms basically here. That's how I grew up. I didn't see much more of psycho thrillers, something that covers women empowerment. I used to always watch movies with male and female lead, with comedians, and now I can see most of the movies with only female leads, giving out strong, impactful messages here in the regions. So initially growing up, I thought that was missing here, but then now we are starting to, compete with the Hollywood, I should say. So that is why I used to prefer international movies, and I get a lot of different perspectives looking at this. So yeah, that's
Yes, Toastmaster Harini, the you're getting a wider perspective is one amazing point as to why a person can watch international films or series. Like Indian series, as we know, we already know what is it all about. And if you really have to widen your perspective, one such sitting at home and one such good way is to watch international shows and movies, right? So, Toastmaster Ernita, you are a person who equally watch regional films and international films, right? So, is have you ever adopted a habit, um, interest because of the show or movies that you watched, especially the international shows or movies that you watched?
I'm so sorry, but there was a glitch. Can
Am I audible now?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So you are a person who equally watch regional films and international films, right?
Yes.
So my question, see, as Toastmaster Harini, the previous panelist told, it gives us a wider perspective. So I would want to ask you this thing, like, have you ever adopted a habit, an interest, or you incorporated a behavior because of the from the shows or the movies that you watched, especially the international shows and movies?
Um, I don't think I've adopted any specific behavior, but let's see.
It can be
I
interest as well, any interest.
any interest.
Yeah.
When I watched international movies, I just developed the interest to watch more of them, and it became way worse. I started watching them in my semester exams, which was not a good habit at all. Uh, I One recent thing that I've learned from a movie is I watched La the Le Villa. If I am right, I don't think I'm pronouncing it right even. It's basically a rom com, but what I took from it is that the basic plot is the husband's wife will pass away, and there'll be a drift between the daughter and her father. He will come back to Italy to help to bring her along with her back to the US. In this, what I've realized is that so we are so involved in our jobs that we often tend to forget our family. And especially for me, I'm living in hostel, my parents are living somewhere else. We barely talk a day. Sometimes we don't even talk for one day. That's a max. So that's kind of sad because imagine talking 24 hours, and I mean not 24 hours, maybe hours and hours with your family, and you just don't speak to them at all. It's kind of sad. So from this, I developed a habit that I make sure no matter how busy I am, I at least call my mom and ask her how her day was, or how my day went. So she will get that satisfaction that my daughter is doing fine. And to be honest, I believe that that's one of the greatest thing you can give your parents. So this was one thing I realized from watching that movie. It's an international movie. So.
That's absolutely amazing, Toastmaster Ernita. So, coming to a late 90s kid, Toastmaster Veera, you are a late 90s kid, right? And you are a person, you might have experienced the traditional TV format and the OTT platform. So, how do you really think this shift from the scheduled TV programming to on demand OTT platform impacted our viewing experience?
Okay, so let me start it off with when I was a kid. Again, my grandmother was an ardent Shivaji Ganesan fan, and there is this one movie that the entire family gathers to watch whenever it telecasts on KTV. It is Tillana Mohanambal, and since my grandmother was a fan of Shivaji, and I was around 6 or 7, I had a crush on Padmini, who is 7 times older than me, not 7 years, 7 times older than me. And the thing is, my father won't ask my mom to cook. He'll just buy the dinner and come. And we will all eat together as a family and watch the movie. That's how much we love the movie. But as time progresses, technology also evolves. Now we are in OTT. I would say each of us has our own personal mobile devices, and we watch the movies that we enjoy. Sometimes, rarely, because since I'm a working individual, I get time to spend time with my family to watch together to watch movies together. But apart from that, I have my own personal preferences, which my parents would not definitely agree to. But again, yeah, it's a change in technology and it's evolution. It's part of evolution. You just have to take it with a grain of salt and just go along with it. That's the easiest way. You can enjoy it with your family if you have common preferences, but if not, use your personal mobile devices to enjoy whatever the hell you want. That's it.
Yes, Toastmaster Veera. Actually, child like late 90s child. I am also a late 90s child, and I do understand like how fun it is to watch films and series with the family. However, as we grow, our preference and our parents' preference are quite, it's like infinity, right? Distance is like infinity. And one good way that we can entertain ourselves is have a personal device, OTT platform, enjoy what the shows that we watch. However, the Toastmaster Harini, you are a person who preferred OTT platform, and you are a person who binge watch, right? So, how do you really feel that this OTT platform and the culture of binge watching impact our daily routine and overall well being?
Okay, so honestly, this all started with COVID. I should blame the COVID because it is not a very good habit to binge watch. And I always start binge watching at 12 and end at almost at 4. And it took me so many months to, bring back the usual sleeping schedule of waking up in the morning and sleeping at night. And I did enjoy that time, binge watching. But then to bring back into life after COVID, we all saw, complete change in everything, including the way we communicate with others, with everything. And this became a very bad habit for me. And even when I had, school exams, I just had a very strong, uh, this strong tendency to start a new series. I get so stressed out because of exams. I'll be like, okay, let me go watch a movie or start the series. But I should actually sit and read. That's the only way I can, do with life. So yeah, I think that is something that I would always recommend people to stop doing. Yeah.
Yes, Toastmaster Harini, we have largely got addicted to the OTT, the Netflix during the COVID time, right? So that's when we came across many series from different part of the world, and one such is the Korean dramas, which has, you know, given us a wrong beauty standard, I would say. So Toastmasters Janashri, have you noticed instances where the series, the movies promote unrealistic expectations?
So I do see a few scenes that give unrealistic expectations. For example, when it comes to action scenes, they would the hero would survive in the bomb blast as well. The the bullet would just go and then it turns and just hit that antagonist, and the hero would be praised. So, and I also see a few scenes where the hero and heroine would get the love at first sight. So I do believe in those, but still, the other person would be standing there, and the one person would pass by, and just by making the eye contact, everything would be perfect, and those things would trigger young minds, and it kills our dreams, I would say. So it create unrealistic standards in our mind, and we face situations such a way that everything would fall at place when we just meet a person, when we just do such simple things. So I I I do believe that unrealistic standards has to be minimized a little bit. I hope, because it affects young minds.
That's truly said, Toastmaster Janashri. I myself, being a variant of Grey drama, back then I would imagine, all the unrealistic situations wherein I'll meet my guy in a very dramatic way or whatever it may be. So, Toastmaster Veera, here is a question to you. So, just like me, if at all you have to suggest something to me, a girl who lives in dreamland, okay? So, how would you suggest a way to differentiate between the fiction and reality while watching a movie or series?
How to differentiate between fiction and non-fiction while watching movies?
Reality, fiction and
Reality.
reality. Yes.
Okay. First and foremost, you wouldn't have magical wands waving. That's one. Second, I would say wouldn't be able to meet your friend who lives in a different country within half an hour. Like one scene over here and the next scene they're in US, dancing. I believe that is something our renowned speaker of the today's speaker Hariharan would have experienced, I guess. And then what else? What else? Oh yeah, the most important thing: when you shoot a person, the person dies immediately. They wouldn't take like half an hour to bleed, say their final dialogues, and then say goodbye. I guess these are a few things. Uh, yeah, these are the things that came at the top of my mind. Over to you, Haripriya.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Veera, your points really struck me like come back to the reality. And the mother, your points were. Thank you so much. Now, see, any movie or series, a person who largely influence is the filmmakers, right? So, Toastmaster Ernita, you said you are a person who's story driven, not character driven, right? So, what steps you would suggest a filmmaker to take to ensure responsible storytelling?
I would ask them to focus on current problems, to be honest. No offense to people who like Kabir Singh out here, but that movie just made all the guys go red flags. Uh, I believe after the movie, many people from school started imitating them, and it just got worse. Hence, focus on real life issues. There are many real life issues that we face in our society as of today. Example, wait, I think the series Kake, the Bihar story, that was actually a good one, where it was talking where it talked about IPS who is trying to change the world. Maybe you don't have to put the events in the actual order because we have to glamorize in the Indian film industry, otherwise it's not going to run. We don't want to give them a flop movie, but maybe you can glamorize it a little bit and then take the movie. Like example, Gunjan Saxena, though it was not a huge hit, it maybe it showed that yes, a woman is also capable of doing this. So highlight real life issues, take characters who can act out and not just big stars. Again, this problem in the Indian film industry is that we always take the big stars to attract more audience. But it's not an incapability, but they might just not do justice as the upcoming actors. So you give the upcoming actors too a chance, like Vikrant Messi. How many of you watched 12th Fail? Any hands up? Yeah, that was a very good movie. Hence, I would suggest that take your make your plot reasonable. Second, find actors who can actually carry that story, carry that legacy, what you want to create. And third, maybe publicize it, saying that this is the real life issue. Life is not roses, because trust me, I thought it is. Surya said second year la college நம்ம கையில, but I am struggling in college. Maybe we can take out all these dramatic stuff from our movies and make it more relatable.
Said Toastmaster Arnita. So now we will go to Toastmaster Harini. So you have, when I was interacting with you to know about the panelists, you did tell me that you are a person who gets easily influenced by the movies and series you watch. So what is that one suggestion that you would give yourself to avoid getting easily influenced by TV shows that you wish to follow? Like any steps that you wish to follow?
Honestly, I'm not trying to change it because life is pretty boring. And I have main character syndrome. So after completing a series or a movie, I think, okay, I'm the main character. Maybe you can take one or two, things from them. Act like as if, there's a camera every time I go around everywhere. I always do that because life is pretty boring. So I thought, why should I change it? Just an escapism. But sometimes it gets, pretty much, it's not a very good influence, honestly, because if it's something good, fine. But then when a bad influence will take up, funnily, and it might end up be really bad. So honestly speaking, I've never thought about changing it. But yeah, I think I should consider working upon it sometime. Haven't been in a very dangerous situation where I'm out of control. So, yeah.
So as rightly said, whatever is within control is all within the limit is always best. So Toastmaster Janashri, you have an younger brother, right, who is a teenager. As an elder sister, you have already passed that age, and you know teenagers have access. These days, teenagers have access to various unwanted shows, movies, or whatever it is. So, what steps would you follow to avoid your brother from getting into all that, the negative influence as a sister?
It's really tough to answer because I'm struggling to get out of this world, and suggesting the same to my brother is really tough. But he is someone who always prefer international shows. So I prefer mostly regional movies, and we have different um, set of interests. So if at all, if I want to say something that my brother should not go, first I would watch the movie. If that is good, if that is has some value in it, I will suggest to him. Otherwise, not. And movies are a few things where teenagers should watch in order to get a few things, because we do not experience everything in our life, and by seeing movies or series, we will come to understand that okay, these things exist, these things happen. So type of um, those type of things can be understood easily by watching films or series. But again, a few things need to be restricted for teenagers, and I couldn't really find out a way to stop it because I'm really struggling in that area. Uh, when I watch those movies, I get stuck with the character, and we would almost we live with those characters. So it's really tough to get. Unless you get into it, you cannot come out of it. So try to limit yourself and for getting into that.
Rightly said, Toastmaster Janashri. As actually we have a segment 3 Q&A from audience, but however, since we are running out of time, I would want it in the chat. So audience, whomever you want to post question to, kindly let us know in the chat. So largely, movies have become an integral part of us, right? Movie series, whatever, has become an integral part of us. And we have access to a lot of a wide range of series, movies that might have a negative impact on us. So it is always, I would just conclude by saying that is always best. Yes, you can be in your dream world, but you should know what reality is and what are your limits. So I really hope watch good, stay in your dream world, but however, keep yourself grounded. So, with that said, I conclude my panel discussion and over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Reshma.